You could have done a bit of Zoom bombing on us to get in there, but you chose not to. Why not?
Because I am ethical and have integrity.
Well, you're at the wrong network. Zoom bombing has become Zoom bombing's become a bit of fun. We've got a friend of Ticker who has been very much enjoying Zoom bombing people. Doesn't have much else to do. Give us an idea about exactly what Zoom bombing is and how it's affecting business, because there is, of course, a serious side to it as well.
Oh, absolutely. Well, a Zoom bomber is pretty much like a troll of a Zoom meeting. So, Zoom bombing is when someone who hasn't been invited to the meeting shows up. They can either disrupt the meeting or sometimes they just sit in. So, in the States, there's a case of someone who became very popular on TikTok because she asked her followers to give her the Zoom links to their high school classes, and she would just show up in the class. And sometimes the teachers noticed, and then other times they didn't. And she would just ask to stay there and just learn. But there've been occasions with her anyway where she has brought in multiple people, and they've like a huge group of people have gate crashed a class and caused havoc, and the classes have had to be shut down. And it's been the case also with things like work meetings and even sort of support group meetings. So things like AA, things like that. People have come in.
Well, how are they doing it though? I mean, how are they getting in? Surely there's a passcode that you need to have. Whenever I've done a Zoom, you get a little link.
That's right. So things like having the same meeting link for the same meeting that's a breach in security, and people can use that. Some say support groups have their meeting codes public, so for people to attend. There's also been cases where they're just making up their meeting numbers. They know the format, and so they're just trying and getting in, which is a worry. But some of the cases have been quite horrible in the sense that there was a man in the States doing his final defense for his dissertation, and people were in. There's a guy in there, or someone was in there, writing racist things because the settings were locked down. So
now, how unsafe do you think Zoom is when we have a look at what's happened in the US and governments and military essentially pulling people back, saying too easy to hack, concerns that you'd be able to get in and to actually be able to listen in on things as well? It reminds me about how the US government and the Australian government, I'm not sure if the ban's still in place, but DJI, which makes a Chinese firm that makes drone equipment, they had to stop that because they were concerned that the Chinese government would be able to get in on that as well. What do we know about Zoom and the security side of things as well?
Well, look, I have seen some reports coming out where people are saying that it isn't very secure, and that it even it actually can upload itself or download itself onto Apple computers by bypassing the Apple security settings. So that can be a bit of a worry. And if settings are not locked down properly, it means that people can record sessions to use later. They can sort of share things and do things in the meeting that aren't overly secure. There are ways to lock things down, which is good. But as a platform itself, yes, there have been there's been quite a lot of criticism about it in terms of security.
Yeah, very much so. Dr. Karen Sutherland, love the chat. Thank you so much. Hope we don't get crashed into. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.